Hello, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well. Well, I got to tell you something, that there has been a lot of updates and not too exciting in many ways about many of the gaming operators that you are seeing, not just in Las Vegas, but also in Reno and much of the country. Now, as you know, Caesars confirms that Harrahs Reno is going to be sold and is going to be turned into a non-gaming hotel. So here's my view about Reno. At one point, it seems like it was the gaming capital of the world. Then we had other places open up, Las Vegas, Laughlin, Atlantic City, that took some business away. It used to have its own airline. It was dependent heavily on people coming across the country, especially from San Francisco. And then what happened? Well, it wasn't just other cities, it was also Indian gaming. And we saw a lot of the casinos begin to close down. Not to mention some casinos, basically like there were ones in Sparks and outside of downtown that opened that were much larger, certainly had more room, that began to open. And I was there. If you see a video that I posted a while back ago of my trip to Reno, Lake Tahoe, Carson City, and it really wasn't packed on a Saturday night. It was quite depressing, I can tell you that. And a lot of that traffic was just basically in nightclubs and bars that a lot of locals tend to hang out. And as a result, many of the properties have been turned into condos, offices, or whatever. But what really propped up the Reno economy was its close proximity to the Bay Area. And because of that, it was really the affordable housing destination from Northern California. And this is one of the reasons why, if gaming collapses, I don't really see Las Vegas suffering so badly. And one of the reasons because of that is because Las Vegas remains an affordable alternative, just like Phoenix, to Southern California. And not to mention, we're seeing these high-speed transport projects like the Virgin one, or at least the Hyperloop that is being planned, which could really make those areas suburbs of those major California cities. So as you can see here, Caesars confirms that Harrahs Reno is going to be sold. Now, as you know, Caesars kind of made a merger so far with Eldorado Resorts. Eldorado actually has a hotel in downtown Reno. And you can see here, Harrahs, I believe, Harrah, started, I believe, the first property in Reno. And I was there, it wasn't too packed. I mean, one thing I've noticed in a lot of those casinos is you don't have a lot of service from foreign-born folks. I guess a lot of people like that. So you don't have a lot of infestation of immigration. But still, nevertheless, you can see here, they are not doing too well. And they are going to sell the property for $50 million. And they're going to convert it into a non-gaming hotel. Now, can this ever come to Las Vegas? It certainly is a possibility. They can convert many of the mega resorts, if the Strip suffers really badly, into condominiums. And you can see right here, they're basically doing a split 75-25 to Caesars, and their annual rent payments will be given to VICI Properties. They're going to turn it into a city center, and they're going to cease operations in the second half of 2020 into mixed-use development. So what does this mean? So we could see the properties turn into a coffee shop. You can see the properties turn into residential offices. You could see that many other different types of retail, outdoor courtyard spaces. And the agreement allows Caesars to retain its guest data on places with no restrictions on Caesars marketing activities. Reno's will continue to be part of the Caesars Rewards Network during the short-term lease of the buyer. So what do you think about this right here? And it will actually have an actual grocery store downtown for the homeless. You know, I just think things come and go for this town. I really, really do. But honestly, just to think about it, I don't see what's really the point of going to Reno when you have Indian gaming. Though they do have a lot of good deals. MGM Resorts to sell MGM Grand for Mandalay Bay Resorts for $2.5 billion. Let's go closer to home. So basically, as you know, MGM, in my opinion, is a very shady company. You can argue the executives sold company stock before Route 91. You can argue they started resort and parking fees. You can argue that basically the CEO is probably the most corrupt, sick piece of garbage in our entire state. And as you know, Mandalay Bay is looking pretty obvious. Now, this is nothing new. They did some kind of joint venture or selling off of Bellagio and the Circus. And by the way, I think the Circus has a good chance of closing down in Reno. And Mandalay Bay is basically going to be given to Blackstone. The joint venture will be 50.1% MGM and 49% Blackstone. It will also acquire real estate assets of Mandalay Bay and MGM Growth Properties for an additional rent of $29.2 million. So the question is, what is happening? I think they are really struggling. I think they know that basically these parking fees, these layoffs are not looking good, and a lot of people are not coming. The average person, especially from California, which a lot of their visitors still come from, they're being strangled with student loan, rental costs, housing costs, and they just don't have a lot of discretionary spending. And it's just kind of foolish to see that these properties would engage in such bull crap. And they probably know that there's an economic downturn that's coming. I talked about that heavily in my previous videos. There's a good chance it's coming along the way. You are starting to see the stock market getting quite overvalued. It's getting quite bubbly. And although I'm not selling right now, I'll tell you that. But because of that, I think that they're trying to get ready, perhaps, for the next economic downturn. Maybe they really don't know that there's a possibility. But it's common sense. I mean, this bull market has been going on for 11 years. And I actually think that as a result, they're trying to kind of reorganize their properties. I wouldn't be surprised to see if many of the executives, although it has happened so far, that they will actually start resigning from their positions, including Jim Murren himself. So you can see here, MGM Resorts announced October was selling the real estate Bellagio with Blackstone. I don't know so much about Blackstone. I have a feeling it is a shady Wall Street company. So basically, there's not much difference in terms of who is really in control of what is going on. So you let me know what you guys think. Does this mean that they will lower their prices? They will improve their service? Will people be held accountable? And also keep in mind, one of the things about this collapse or sinking of the gaming economy, can this actually mean that our political system will change? Because as you know, one of the reasons why we get Reids and Sizzlacs and Sandovals and Hellers and all these politicians out there is largely due to the fact that the gaming industry, particularly MGM Resorts, is heavily pumping these candidates, along with real estate, along with the busing of these workers at the Culinary Union. And so if this gaming sector collapses, and not to mention that employment is going to change largely due to technology, can this mean that the political system is about to change for the state? So what do you think? Because a lot of the donors will go away, but still, we can get a lot of outside money. But nevertheless, if, let's say, the gaming industry were to shut down tomorrow, obviously a lot of campaign contributions are not going to be there. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much. If you can, please subscribe. There's a donation link in the link below. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Share this video.